Ooh-wee, do you smell that? Something stinks. Smells like constructive dismissal or a giant layoff in disguise. On an unrelated note, this is CEO John Stanky of AT&T, and they've just implemented a full-time RTO push back to the office 5 days a week starting in January. Now, the best part about all of this is that they only have 9 offices for everyone to go back into, and they openly announced that they don't have enough seats for everyone to come back to. In fact, on this Business Insider article, it says that there are 150 desks but 1,200 employees at one office. So people sit outside in the hallways and work, or in the cafeteria and work, just because they have to be there. Now, why would they suddenly force everyone back into the office after letting them work remote and then hybrid 3 days a week? Why is that? Well, if we take a quick look here, a new study found that a noticeable departure in employees after companies implemented stricter RTO policies. So if you're a company that doesn't want to lay anyone off formally and announce that and tank your stock and all that stuff, it's not doing good, we're having layoffs, what would you do? In the legal gray area, would you just make everyone's life really annoying and force them back to the office? Even though you know some people probably moved away to cheaper areas, and it's going to be really difficult, if not impossible, for them to make that 5-day-a-week commute. Or would you announce to your employees that you need to reduce headcount and offer people a bunch of money via severance or unemployment if they choose not to leave? Yeah, you're probably just going to force everyone back to the office, and no, it's really hard for some people. Now, this isn't the first time AT&T has done layoffs. They've been doing layoffs for a long time. Here's a post from 2 years ago. Is AT&T's RTO mandate a mass layoff in disguise? Let's scroll down for the answer. I'm gonna agree with Andrew here. We have some more people in agreement here. In this Bloomberg article, it says AT&T typically puts teams through a period culling known internally as surplusing. That's right, in the past 3 years, 69,000 employees have been removed as part of a $6 billion cost-cutting effort. Just wait until you hear about the $20 billion buyback they're doing. I love how they call it. When he announced his staff reorganization plan, that's right, it's not RTO anymore, it's staff reorganization. And part of that reorganization is coming back to the office. This isn't about the office at all. This is just about reducing headcount for free. Honestly. And it's the legal gray area that these companies love to play in. But they'll say stuff like this. Look at the CTO word vomit I found on Business Insider here, where it's just,
our purpose at AT&T is connecting people to greater possibility, and we firmly believe that working together in person and in proximity to our peers is the best way for ATS employees to fulfill that purpose.
I don't know what he sounds like, but although they're building more offices, AT&T will not currently offer one-for-one seating per employee, and the company will observe capacity versus demand and make adjustments. I have another question here. You know how many employees you have, you know which people are where. This just seems like a ruse, in my opinion. Employees told Business Insider it's common for workers to end up sitting in the hallways or working in the cafeteria to avoid running afoul of the company's attendance tracking system. One employee said their office has more than 1,200 people, but only 150 desks. And then the CTO says, I know returning to the office 5 days a week is a significant change for some, but by coming together in person, we can strengthen our connections, foster a vibrant culture, and achieve our shared goals. Whose shared goals? You and the executive's shared goals of maximizing profit from all the employees underneath you? Before I ended up using this little marker, I was going to highlight it like this, and then I noticed you could translate this to English, and honestly, that's what needs to happen here.
Our purpose at AT&T is connecting people to greater possibility.
Please translate that. Now, if you weren't following, just stick with me for a second. I'm going to make it real obvious what's going on. I want you to look at this title. AT&T orders full-time office return, but lacks space for workers. And then we come over to this tab, and we see, oh, when you have an RTO policy, there's a 14% increase in people quitting. So not only are they bringing everyone back 5 days a week with really shoddy reasoning, they're adding fuel to the fire by saying, yeah, we just don't have enough shares, but we're working on it. You still got to come though. Now, there are tons of ways for companies to legally make their employees' lives really annoying to the point where they can't come to work and they'll have to quit. This is just one of those things. And by saying, we don't actually have enough seats for you, even though you still have to come, and we get to make the rules, so it is what it is. It's just, we can see straight through that. If you do it like this, you just have people voluntarily quitting your company. You don't have to pay them out severance. You don't have to pay them out unemployment because it's legal. Sorry, it was their choice to quit. And these companies know what they're doing. And they would never report that openly to the media, but you can put the patterns together. And here's the cherry on top here. Let's go to the MPC CEO, John Stanky. AT&T CEO sees return to profitability. They're doing great, and they're going to be making tons of money, so much money that they're going to be doing a $20 billion buyback of their own stock. Instead of investing that $20 billion back into the company, the workers, training, all that stuff, they're just going to buy back their stock because they're doing so great. At least the executives are. It's like watching paint dry.
Why this big fiber focus? How do you get there?
Look, we've had great success with what we've built thus far, and we see customers, first of all, love the product.
Which would mean what they've built has also been while they've been working remote. So that's Very successful, and now you got to come back.
This longer, they drive better value into the business. We're having great success at selling multiple products into fiber households. 4 out of every 10 of our fiber subscribers also subscribe to our wireless service today.
I'm so sorry for all you AT&T subscribers out there, truly. Let me just say that.
And fiber is the one that can do that. It's the one that has the symmetrical bandwidth characteristics that will facilitate AI and sending more data up into a network than what comes.
That's right. Fiber will facilitate AI. These are just a bunch of buzzword mumbo jumbo, man. Raise that stock some more. You can see in the corner it showed the AT&T stock going up. They're doing a $20 billion stock buyback, raising that price of their stock right up. And you got to come back into the office. And if you don't like it, you can quit, which, you know, that's more money for the company. They don't have to pay out. Is it all starting to add up here? It should.
Look, we have a great portfolio of options. Primary portfolio play is owned and operated, where we take 100% of the economics.
Let's pause right here. I want you to take a look at that stock chart. Everything's benefiting these CEOs. Everything's going up. Does it feel that way for the workers over there at AT&T? I just curious here. I bet there's only a few people at AT&T whose life working there feels like that stock chart. I mean, just look down at the comments. They're hilarious. Awful service, terrible coverage and service. Took me 5 hours to get a right here. This guy, he calls him out. Hey, look. Hey, look. Hey.
Look, we've had great success with what we've built thus far. And look, we have a great portfolio of options. Look, I think there's going to be a lot of issues at the...
Man, so that's CEO John Stanky here. Totally loves what he does. You can see it all over his face. He absolutely loves his job, his bank account, his stocks, his company value. I think that's fair. And I hope everyone else at AT&T feels just as great as Mr. John Stanky here does. And there's just one last note I'd like to point out here, is that while all of you are getting ready to come back to the office, this man is doing interviews in a football stadium. So, get back to work, everybody. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this call out, do me a favor, click that like button, click the subscribe button to see me call out more nonsense like this. And if you enjoyed this call out, do me a favor, click that like button, click the subscribe button to see me call out more nonsense like this. And if you can appreciate the research, maybe share the video with someone else who works at AT&T and show them all the details that these news articles aren't covering. And if you're tired of dealing with all the corporate nonsense, then check out my website, joshuafluke.store. We've got resume reviews where I'll personally review your resume and send you a video back of all the changes you should make. Or if you just want a new one, then I'll craft you a new one by hand and send you an editable template back. But then there's also hacking the resume and hacking the interview, where I go over all the tricks and manipulation that corporate tries to play on you, so you know how to bob and weave your way to the job you want. Or jobs, be overemployed. Anyways, thanks so much. I hope everyone's doing really well, and I'll see you in the next one.